So this video is all about why I think you should start a YouTube channel, especially if you're over 30 like me. And I think there are a lot of people out there who are like older who think YouTube is a young person's game. Like, oh, I'm 30, I'm 40. YouTube is for the young kids. I'm here to tell you that I used to think the same way, and that's the wrong mentality. It's there are people out over here who are on YouTube who are over 60. There's 70-year-olds who have YouTube channels. So that's not really the case. I think for me personally, and I want to speak about like my experience, I've thought about starting a YouTube channel for quite some time now. I think the number one thing that kind of stopped me was this idea of thinking, hey, it's kind of too late. YouTube is saturated. There are a lot of people on YouTube, and no one is going to be interested in what I have to say or the knowledge that I've acquired. And that's not true. The thing about YouTube is there is a lot of people who come to YouTube to learn. And if you're somebody who's acquired any kind of skills or you have any type of knowledge, that's an opportunity for you to share your story, share the knowledge that you have. If you have a quirky personality, if you have some charisma, it's a platform to where you can kind of showcase that side of yourself. Now, for me, in my case, another reason why I think I felt like YouTube wasn't gonna work for me is because I thought I didn't have the camera. I thought I had to wait until I bought expensive cameras and get all the equipment I needed. And the truth is, that's another wrong assumption I made, because there are people on YouTube who use their cell phones to record. They just turn on their cell phones and they start talking about their life experiences, right? And there's so many people who are talented, who I know in real life, like personal real life, friends of mine, people who are like way, way smarter than me, who would never in a million years think about starting a YouTube channel. And I would say, like, I think anybody, there are people who are on YouTube who are like there are people who are like way dumber than you, like, who have YouTube channels, like people who post pranks or whatever. Nothing wrong with that content. I'm not here to hate or dog on that content, but I'm just saying, like, I have a friend who she's like into finance and stuff like that, and she kind of is the reason why I started a YouTube channel, because I kept on telling her, like, yo, you know a lot about finance, you should share some of this knowledge. And I totally understand some people are just shy in front of the camera, and some people have other things going on in their lives. So for whatever reason, she's just never done it. But hey, if you're watching it, you know who you are. This is just another reason why I'm making this video, is for people like you. That way you can be inspired and start a YouTube channel and start sharing some of that knowledge. Now, the thing is, Instagram, right? A lot of people are comfortable on Instagram because it's a short form format, and they think, well, I can just do stuff on Instagram and stuff like that. But I will tell you that there's a difference in the way people consume content when it comes to like social media sites. Like Instagram is a social media site where people kind of interact, like almost like TikTok and stuff like that. I think there's a difference in the way people go to those platforms to consume content as opposed to YouTube, right? And this is where I feel like YouTube gives you a better experience if you're somebody trying to teach people or share entertaining content. People go there to be entertained, people go there to be educated. Instagram, people kind of are there to socialize through social media. Instagram is also turning into Twitter, which I don't really like. And I've kind of lost my passion for being on Instagram, just because it's trying to compete with TikTok, and it's trying to compete with Snapchat as well. I haven't been on TikTok or Snapchat in a long time now, so I don't know what's going on with those platforms. All I know is, like, my experience on TikTok was very it was interesting. It was just TikTok is very much light changing here. Adjustment. TikTok is very much one of those platforms where I think it's cool for very quick, entertaining content, 15 seconds. But if you're trying to just put out a long form video where you're explaining something, I think people's attention spans on some of these social media platforms are too short for you to kind of like put out any type of content or any type of like information that people are willing to sit down and just consume, for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, even 30, even 1 hour, especially with podcasts now. YouTube, I think people intentionally go to YouTube because they're looking for that. So that's why I think it's a good idea to be on YouTube. Another reason is reach, right? I think the reach you have on YouTube, and also as far as just the relationship you have with people who subscribe to you versus followers on Instagram, I think there's way more of a connection and way more of like a genuine engagement. I think the problem with Instagram for me is Instagram always felt like very much like, hey, you follow me, I follow you back. It was very much like a trade-off thing. It was very much, it felt like, I don't want to say like fake love or disingenuous, but it just felt like very much like, hey, I'm just doing this so that you could, I'm just liking your picture so that you can like mine or stuff like that. So I think because on YouTube, people go there to learn and connect with you in a different way, the relationships with your subscribers or just the people that you potentially who are also trying to do the same thing as you, there's a little bit more of a community compared to Instagram or TikTok, Facebook, whatever social media platform you're. So yeah. Another reason why I think being on YouTube is way more beneficial is, of course, there's a potential to grow and there's a potential for monetization. Now, I'm very reluctant to push people to come onto YouTube for
Today, Junior?
For monetization purposes because it's good. The potential is there for you to get monetized, but I think the mistake a lot of people make when they come to YouTube is that's the end goal. The end goal is, oh, I want to make a lot of money. I want to quit my day job, which if you're asking me, do not quit your day job. Do not quit your day job to come and try to make a living off of YouTube. Not yet, if anything. I think YouTube is best if you come to YouTube treating it as a hobby or treating it as a platform where you can kind of like practice. Like for me, my biggest inspiration for starting a YouTube channel is I wanted to get into videography. And I know like for other people out there who might want to start a business about like, hair, or they want to sell a certain product. You might be like, well, I don't know how to edit. Well, that's a good thing, right? You can use YouTube as a place where you can practice to edit and you learn a new skill and you can showcase your product while learning that new skill of like editing and creating videos, right? They don't have to be crazy, elaborate videos. That's why like this video, I'm trying to keep it candid. I'm trying to keep it chill. I'm not trying to do all crazy kinds of edits. And I see it in the comments all the time. Oh my God, I hope I could get to a level like where you edit your videos, or I want to get to a point where I can edit like you. The reality is you don't even need to get to that level. You just need to kind of start somewhere. You just have to start. You don't need to buy the camera that I have. You don't need to buy expensive gear. Just start. Like, honestly, for me, I would have started a long time ago if it wasn't for this idea that I have to wait until I have everything, like the perfect microphone or whatever. Of course, you want to make sure you've got a good microphone, that way your audio is clear, but you don't need all that kind of stuff. For me, YouTube is a place where I can use my talent of making videos, or try to grow this talent of making videos and practice. Another main reason, especially if you're like in the creative space, you're a videographer, YouTube you're your own client, right? You hire you're your first hire when you're on YouTube. So you're making videos, but you're getting better because the more videos you make, the better you get, the more knowledge you get, the more you figure out, okay, these are the settings that work and that produce the best quality video. And then when you book a client, you're not trying to guesswork and figure this stuff out on the back end. So YouTube is a good platform for you to kind of just practice the skill of video editing, especially if you're like a videographer. Now, like I said, you don't have to be somebody who's interested in videography or cinematography to be on YouTube. Let's say you have knowledge about how to change oil, or you're very much like a handyman, like how to fix plumbing and stuff like that. You start a YouTube channel. There's this girl who I saw here on YouTube. She's an electrician, right? And she was just sharing her process. I think she's like based in New York. Just sharing a process of how she became an electrician, just vlogs on like the type of jobs she does. And you know, people were like, you know, she was inspiring people. There are other younger women who are like, hey, maybe let me give this a shot. I want to learn more about being a female electrician and that experience, apprenticeship. Damn, I don't know how to say that word. Being an apprentice. It doesn't matter where you are, what you know, and especially if you're somebody who's over 30 like me, you have like, I want to say, because basically you start acquiring skills like once you start going to college, like even as early as like, you know, in your early teens, right? You have so much information and so many like things you can share. Sometimes just sharing life experiences. Like I said, you don't have to be this person who like is super talented and skilled. Look, if you have any information you can share, any knowledge, hey, if you're a funny person, you tell jokes, whatever. You can do little skits and stand-up routines right here on YouTube. And as long as you're entertaining, educating, and inspiring people, there you go. You got a platform right here. Now, of course, we got to talk about managing expectations, right? Of course, when you start YouTube, and I see a lot of people make this mistake, when you start YouTube, a lot of people there are two types of people. A lot of people either think nobody's gonna watch this, or a lot of people think they come in like, hey, I'm super funny, my friend group, my video is gonna blow up. So you wanna manage your expectations, because if you're on this other side of the spectrum where you think, hey, whatever I post here, especially people who were creating content on and succeeding on platforms like TikTok and Instagram, a lot of those people tend to quit a little too early because those platforms give you a lot of instant gratification, right? Look, when I started here on YouTube, the first video I posted had like 100 views, you know, in the first 24 hours, which honestly is very, very great. Like for your first video to do 100 views on YouTube, a longer format video, that's awesome, man. Like, I think you got to think about it this way. If there are like 100 people willing to watch what you're doing, that's great, man. Then there are people on the other side of the spectrum who think nobody is gonna watch my videos, nobody knows who I am. I think that's good too. I think that's great. If nobody is really watching your videos, you have an opportunity to work on your videos. The reality is, somebody's gonna watch your video, right? You're gonna get at least 2 views, 3 views. You're gonna get 4 people to watch your video. But at least you're learning how to make better videos, even if somebody's gonna watch the video, okay? There's no channel you can go on YouTube where there's like 0 views on like 5 videos somebody posted. There's gonna be at least 2 people watching. Your grandmother and your granddad gonna watch your video. At least the people in your immediate family are gonna watch your video. So it gives you an opportunity to learn and practice. If you go back to watch my first video that I ever posted, it was pretty much like this. Me sitting down in a park somewhere, just candidly talking to the camera. I think, yeah, just start today. You know, just start today. Just start talking about yourself. If you don't have any ideas of what to talk about, just start talking about yourself. Talk about like, hey, this is my experience working in this industry, or story time. People like stories. That's why we go to the movies, right? People like stories. Just cut on the camera and just be like, hey, this is my experience. Hey, I went on a bad date. Talk about that. Somebody's gonna relate. You know, we've all been on bad dates. Hey, I've been on bad dates. You know, I got some stories for you, man. If you guys are interested, I got some stories. Just let me know in the comments. I can share some stories, right? If you're in the military like me, you know, there's a lot of information that you've mastered and acquired that can help somebody else out there. So I'm just making this video to say, yeah, start. I'll bring it full circle. My channel isn't monetized yet, but I don't care. I'm just kind of like going at my pace. I'm managing. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't want my channel to blow up and, you know, I don't want to have a channel that generates income to where I can even quit my day job. But I'm not even worried about that right now. I'm just more focused on slowly getting better at what I'm doing, continuing having this passion for videography, and getting to the point where my work can be seen. Another reason why I have a YouTube channel is because it's a good place just to have a portfolio. Like, if you're a painter, if you're a photographer, if you do videography, it's just a good place for you to post your work and just be like, hey, this is more like a visual catalog of my work, and it's free promo. If you have people who are interested in booking you for a photo shoot or booking you for videography or trying to buy art, you can just be like, hey, this is my business card and check out my YouTube. People will quickly click on like a 10-minute video of like what you do, and they'll be like, well, this person is really talented. Free promo. YouTube has a bigger reach, right? YouTube has a bigger reach, and you can reach way more people. There are people who watch my videos who are from like the UK. I got people from Paris. Shout out to you guys. Bonjour. There are people who are in the Philippines who check out my videos. There's just a wider reach on YouTube, you know. I think even more so than Instagram, because on Instagram, I do have some people from, but it's rare, right? And it's like I said, Instagram is turning into Twitter or X, whatever they call it now. And I think Instagram is very much for people who are either you just want to have like your close-knit family or someone who's trying to be like a social influencer or whatever. But I'm just saying this to say that you can use YouTube as a platform where you share your portfolio, share your work. Now, if you're somebody who is like, hey, Groby, I'm none of those things, well, you could just use it as a place where you can document your life, right? You can use it as a visual, you know, photo album, I guess. You can document your life. Like, there's so many experiences that I've had, great, awesome experience that I just never documented. Like, I was born in a third world country, and there are just so many memories of like growing up and being in very cool, like breathtaking places that just I never documented. So there you go. You can use YouTube as a place where you just, as your visual diary, where you can just document your life. And I also say that it also has the opportunity to change your life, right? Because it's kind of like you're investing in yourself, you know, on being on YouTube, right? And eventually you will probably get a return on your investment. Even if you're making $100 a month, at least you're getting something back out of it. At least you're paying your phone bill. You know what I mean? Or you never know, you might be somebody who just has a knack for it, and then you just blow up, and next thing you know, you build a career around it, you know? Now, like I said, yeah, don't come into YouTube just expecting, hey, I'm gonna start bowling by the end of the year and I'll be making all this money. I think just start because you want to share, you want to learn, you want to educate, you want to practice. If you want a creative outlet, I think YouTube is a good place to do that, you know. So, like I said, I just wanted to keep this video very simple, very stripped down, and very candid, just like a one-on-one conversation. I just wanted to be like I'm talking to a friend, you know, out there. All two of you people who are watching, I don't need a lot of people to watch this video. I just want you out there, my friend, to watch this video, and hopefully it resonates with you. And I want you to just start today. Start a YouTube channel. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.